Chapter 76. In the end, Siyu did not return until the afternoon. Shining was a little worried and asked Radish and Yu Hong to look for her. But when night fell, Yu Hong and Radish were nowhere to be seen, much less Siyu. Even Lone Moon had returned. Could something have really happened? The more Shining thought about it, the more she felt that something was wrong. It was just a breakup. Could it be that the masochist was not satisfied after being rejected and captured her? Go and find out if there's any news about the Yin family's young master. Lone Moon also realized that something was wrong. He immediately sent a girl to investigate. That girl had only left for less than 5 minutes when she hurriedly returned. Secmaster, in the afternoon, the Yin family's young master got into a conflict with someone in the west of the city. They even got into a fight. I heard that they met people from the Soul-Chasing Tower. Soul-Chasing Tower? Lone Moon stood up in shock. Who are they? I Ching asked. That's an organization that's neither good nor evil. Lone Moon frowned. The people inside are good at concealing their tracks. Even high-level cultivators would not be able to detect them easily. I heard that their information network is spread all over the 3 Azure Realms. They specialize in selling the secrets of various sects for a living. As long as you can afford it, you can find out what you want. Their main building is in the west of the city. Then why did they capture our sect's disciples? I Ching frowned. Maybe it's because they won the competition, and some people are jealous. Lone Moon snorted and gripped the flute in his hand. If they want to be jealous, they have to see if they have the ability to do so. Do they really think that our invincible sect is easy to bully? With that said, he turned to Shining. Shining, I'm going to the Soul-Chasing Tower with I Ching. We'll be back soon. All right. Shining nodded. But little before she could finish, Lone Moon and I Ching had already disappeared in the west of the city. They had gone to find someone to settle scores with. A while later, Little White. Yes, Sectmaster. When Little Hong and Radish left just now, they said they were going to the east of the city to find someone, right? I think so. Then can they find someone? Shining hesitated about whether she should chase after them and warn them. Just then, someone else came looking for them from outside. This person was dressed in the standard blue robes of the Yin family. He looked to be in his 40s and looked a little familiar. Greetings, Sectmaster. That person bowed to her. Shining hesitated for a moment. She thought of a certain forbidden token and reacted. Oh, you called me. Yes, I'm Sectmaster. This lowly one is the shopkeeper of Zhengfeng Restaurant, a branch of the Yin clan. The patriarch asked me to invite sect leader Yi to the Yu family's residence in Huayuan City as soon as possible, said the man hurriedly, looking a little anxious. The Yu family? She was stunned. Why are we going there? Young master, Siyu, and Lady Yu Hong are at the Yu family right now. What? Wasn't he captured by the Soul-Chasing Tower? I'm not too sure about the specifics, but it doesn't seem to be a small matter. Patriarch has already rushed over. If he's late, go. Without waiting for him to finish speaking, Shining grabbed him and rushed out of the door. They left the city and ran in the direction the shopkeeper had pointed. Yingtian City was not far from Huayuan City. Shining ran very fast. In less than an hour, they had arrived at the Yu family's residence. Coincidentally, they met Yin Feng and Xian Yuanyu at the door. Fellow Taoist Yin Feng looked at Shining in surprise. He did not expect her to arrive so quickly. Great Immortal! Xian Yuanyu was also shocked. He glanced at the shopkeeper, who was vomiting beside her. What happened? She asked directly. The Yu family said that Yuan Fei stopped them from capturing their fugitive slaves. Yin Feng frowned and looked up at Shining. In a low voice, he said, Now Yuan Fei, Siyu, and Yu Hong are all inside. This concerns your sect, so I informed Sectmaster. We will only know the specifics after we go in. With that said, he did not bother to explain further. He turned and walked in quickly. Shining followed behind him. Great Immortal Shun. Xian Yunyu stepped forward and called out to her. Yes? Shining turned around. He smiled awkwardly and said, Well, the Yu family master has always been impulsive. He does not know Great Immortal's capabilities. He might offend you if he goes in. I hope Great Immortal can be more understanding. He had rushed over after hearing that Yin Feng had informed her. He was afraid that something would happen. After all, The Yu family was one of the 4 big families. Remembering the lesson his family had been taught, he pleaded for the Yu family. Shining tilted her head. Are they that insensible? Yes, Xian Yu admitted. So, could Great Immortal please try not to get physical? Shining hesitated for a moment and nodded. All right, I promise you that no matter what happens, I will reason with them first. Thank you, Great Immortal. Thank you, Great Immortal. Xian Yu heaved a sigh of relief. Perhaps because the family masters of the Yin family and the Xian Yuan family were here, the 3 of them did not encounter any obstacles. They walked all the way to the front hall. You're spouting nonsense. From afar, he could hear Sister Cuy's exhausted rebuttal. You still dare to quibble at this point. A soul formation suppressive voice came from the front. Yin Yuanfei and Ciyu, who were standing not far from the door, were about to be forced to their knees. Infeng panicked and rushed in to support the 2 of them. He looked at his son anxiously, then looked at the person at the head of the table angrily. Family Master Yu, what is the meaning of this? Brother Yin is here. The Yu family smiled and immediately retracted his suppressive aura. He scanned the 3 of them and paused. Why is Brother Xian Yu here as well? Sect Master, seeing Shuning, Ciyu pushed Yin Yuanfei away and hurried forward. She tugged at Shun Ying's sleeves with an aggrieved expression. Senior Sister Hong, they captured Big Sister Hong. Shuning frowned. She patted Ciyu's head and pulled Ciyu behind her. Then, she scanned the people in the hall and asked in a low voice, what happened? Xian Yu trembled. Fortunately, he had told her in advance. He turned and saw a few people sitting in the hall. Yu Haiheng was sitting at the head of the table. Below him sat 5 cultivators of different ages. They were all traveling immortals of the Yu family. The Yu family master, Yu Haiheng, did not reply to Shining. It was as if he did not care about her at all. Instead, Infeng glared at the person at the head of the table angrily. Shouldn't the Yu family master give us an explanation? How did the Yin family offend the Yu family? Why did you kidnap my son and bring him here? Family Master Yin, you misunderstand. Yu Haiheng smiled, not looking the least bit guilty. We're not targeting the Yin family. It's just that your son insisted on protecting this escaped slave. We had no choice but to invite him here. Nonsense. Who is the escaped slave of the Yu family? Before Yin Feng could speak, Yin Yuanfei stepped forward and said, who doesn't know that Ciyu is the champion of the Golden Core tournament? When did she become the escaped slave of the Yu family? Chapter 77. I just found out too. They're the slaves from the Yu family who went missing a year ago. Yu Haiheng looked at Ciyu, who was standing behind Shining, maliciously. She and that girl called Yu Hong used to be the nascent soul-perfected Zhen Xiang's human cauldrons. Human cauldrons? Everyone turned to look at Ciyu in shock. A year ago, perfected Zhen Xiang suddenly went missing. Not even his body could be found. Yu Haiheng continued. Yu Haiyan continued. After his death, the 9 human cauldrons under him also disappeared without a trace. According to the last person who saw Zhen Xiang, he went to catch the traitor who stole the artifact because it was stolen. That's why he never returned. He must have been killed by the 9 people. As the family head, I have to seek justice for my people. Zhen Xiang colluded with fiendish cultivators to silence us, Ciyu retorted loudly. So, you admit that you are a slave of the Yu family? Yu Haiheng laughed coldly. He turned to look at Shuning and said sarcastically, what a coincidence. There are only 9 human cauldrons in the Yu family. Your invincible sect also sent 9 disciples to participate in the sect competition. Sect Master, don't you think you should give the Yu family an explanation? Xin Ying's eyes turned cold and her expression darkened. Don't talk nonsense, family head Yu. Xian Yuanyu's heart trembled. He quickly stepped forward and shouted, you said that all the human cauldrons from the Yu family were human cauldrons. But look at Lady Ciyu. She is the top golden core cultivator. Everyone knows what a human cauldron is like. How could she have won the competition? You must have made a mistake. That's right. Yin Yuanfei reacted and retorted. And Lady Ciyu is a body cultivator. I've never heard of any body cultivators in the Yu family. What do you mean by that? Yu Haiheng was getting angry. He seemed to be unhappy that they were helping him. Do you think I, the dignified family head of the Yu family, would make a mistake like this? What's more, she just admitted it herself. Family head Yu, it's better to investigate. Seeing Shun Ying's darkening expression, Xin Yuan tried to persuade Yu Haiheng. What's more, she's a golden core cultivator. How can she defeat a nascent soul-perfected one? Actually, the three families present all knew that the Yu family's objective wasn't to capture any fugitive slaves. It was just that the invincible sect had suddenly appeared and was so powerful that the Yu family and the other aristocratic families were tempted. There were only so many resources in the Upper Azure world. To the aristocratic families, there were only two ways to deal with this new force: befriend or suppress. It was obvious that the Yu family and Xianyuan family were trying to befriend each other. The Yu family, on the other hand, had lost the initiative, so they had chosen another option. He wanted to take advantage of the fact that this small sect had yet to become a marquee, to completely suppress it, to eliminate future troubles, and ensure the unique status of the aristocratic family. Now that they had this weakness, they naturally wanted to crush invincible sect to death. If it was in the past, everyone would have a tacit understanding about this kind of thing. Perhaps they would even push him from behind. But the sect master of invincible sect was a great immortal. Be the great immortal Shun who single-handedly beat up 5 traveling immortals the moment she came to the Upper Azure world and almost destroyed the Xianyuan family in one day. No one even knew how terrifyingly powerful she was. Until now, he couldn't even muster up any thoughts of resisting. If Yu Haiheng thought that such a person was easy to bully, then the Yu family was really too pitiful. Who knows what methods they used? The Yu family was still unwilling to let the matter rest. He glanced at Siyu and said, "Don't forget that Zhun Xiang said he lost his Dharma treasure. She suddenly became a body cultivator. Isn't that proof? What's more, the senior sister she mentioned has the surname Yu. I've already done a blood test. She is indeed a collateral descendant of the Yu family and one of the missing fugitive slaves. Zhun Xiang's death, even if they weren't the culprit, but I did it." Shining finally couldn't take it anymore. She raised her hand and said, "That scum, I was the one who beat him up." Everyone was shocked and turned their heads to look at her. The Yu family even sneered. Xian Yu was stunned. Why did the great immortal admit it herself? Were they going to start a fight? "Great immortal, you did a good job." Xian Yu changed the topic and continued to put out the fire. He said seriously, "That perfected Zhenxiang is definitely not a good person. That's why you had to do it yourself." Yu Haiheng, is this Xian Yu crazy? That scum forced people to become human cauldrons, used them to test his medicine, and even used living people to refine pills. He is indeed not a good person, Shining said honestly. What, refining pills using living people? Infeng was shocked. That was something only fiendish cultivators would do. Nonsense, Yu Haiheng said anxiously. As if he hadn't expected her to say such things, he retorted, "Zhan Xiang is famous for being an easygoing person in the collateral family. Who would believe that he would do such a thing?" "I believe him." Xian Yu immediately raised his hand. Yu Haiheng's chest tightened again. "I believe that the great sect master Yi is not the kind of person to accuse others. Since she has already done it, it must be Zhan Xiang who made a huge mistake." Xian Yu Haiheng was furious. He didn't understand why Xian Yu would rather offend the Yu family than help invincible sect. Patriarch Yu, this is a misunderstanding. Quickly release the invincible sect disciples. I'm trying to save you, brother. Yu Haiheng didn't understand the hint in his eyes at all. He snorted and turned to look at Infeng. "Patriarch Yin, do you also think that Zhen Xiang deserved his death?" This. Infeng looked back and forth between Xian Yu and Yu Haiheng. Wasn't this a matter between the Yu family and invincible sect? Why were the two of them fighting over it first? He hesitated for a moment, not knowing which side to take. Finally, he looked at his son, who was full of anticipation, and sighed. "I also believe in Sect Master Yi's character. If someone from the Yu family really did such an evil thing, I think Patriarchy would have to thank Sect Master Yi for helping you clean up the mess. Yu Haiying was clearly unhappy with this outcome. He had wanted to suppress Invincible's sect, but he didn't expect that not only would he not get any benefits, he would also have to drag out a bunch of scandals that would embarrass the Yu family. Even so, there are still escaped slaves of the Yu family. Patriarch Yu's words are not right. Xian Yuanyu took the opportunity to say, if Zhenxiang really did such an evil thing, he can no longer be considered a righteous sect. Naturally, he can no longer be a member of the Yu family. Then the human cauldrons under him are no longer slaves of the Yu family. Where did the escaped slaves come from? This matter has not been concluded. Just one side of the story is not enough to prove it. Yu Haiheng still didn't give up. Now I don't even know where Zhenxiang's body is. How can we prove that he really practiced demonic arts? He's in Upper Azure Town, Shuning said. That person should still be underground. Go and dig. You'll be able to find him. After some thought, she added, we might have to dig a little deeper. Underground. Xian Yuanyu shuddered as he recalled certain scenes. Suddenly, he didn't want to ask what exactly happened in Upper Azure Town. Yu Haiheng's expression completely darkened. There was nothing more to argue about. The Yu family had also received some news about Zhenxiang. They were just finding an excuse to suppress Invincible's sect. But if they really found Zhenxiang's body, the nascent soul's body would not decompose. Everything would be clear once they checked his meridians. Since we haven't found out the truth, let's stop here. Yin Feng stepped forward and said, Patriarch Yu, please let go of the two disciples of Invincible's sect. That's right, Patriarch Yu. Hurry up and let them go. Xian Yuanyu urged. Si was overjoyed. Her previously tense nerves finally relaxed, and she looked at Shun Ying excitedly. Oh right. Shuning seemed to have thought of something. She turned and looked straight at Yu Haiheng. Slowly, as if enunciating each word, she said, no matter what you find in the future, whether it's little green or little red, I don't care who they were in the past, but in the future, they will be sisters of Invincible's sect. You can't just capture them. I don't have a good temper. You have to remember that. What did she mean? A threat? How dare a mere sect master threaten the Yu family? Yu Haiheng was so angry that he was about to stand up. Xian Yuanyu quickly stepped forward and held him back. He nodded at Shun Ying and chuckled. Of course. This is all a misunderstanding. Let's not take it to heart. Patriarch Yu, please let the other disciple of Invincible's sect be released. Yu Haiheng blinked furiously. This time, Yu Haiheng finally understood what he meant. He snorted unwillingly and suppressed the anger in his heart. He gave a look to a traveling, immortal elder beside him. The elder nodded. In a flash, he disappeared from the hall. A moment later, there was a thud, and he appeared again. He casually threw the person he was holding onto the ground beside Shining. It had only been a few hours, but Yu Hong's originally bright red clothes were now covered in dark, dried blood. Her body, hands, and face were covered with deep wounds that revealed her bones. Her originally exquisite hair bun was now a mess. She looked very pathetic. Seeing your sister, Si rushed over and carefully helped the person on the ground. But Yu Hong looked up at Shuning. Her eyes immediately lit up. She called out softly, Sect Master. She opened her mouth, as if trying to smile, to reassure Shuning. However, the wound on her face opened up and a drop of blood slid down the side of her face. Shuning felt as if a string that had been pressing down on her had snapped. Something exploded from within her. He looked up at the head of the table and laughed. Ha! I really don't like to reason. Great immortal don't. But it was too late. In the next instant, Shun Ying had already appeared behind Yu Haiying. Qian Yuan's heart sank. It's over. He pointed them at Shun Ying and said, don't think that you can do whatever you want in the Upper Azure world just because you have a high cultivation level. Feng Ying, will seek justice today. Immediately after, he sent a voice transmission to the system. System, help me choose a winning cultivation technique immediately and stimulate all my potential. Today, I must teach this invincible sect master a lesson. Feng Ying was not a careless person. Since he dared to go against the Yu family's invincible sect leader, his cultivation was definitely not weak. He had indeed sought out invincible sect in a moment of anger. But since he dared to come alone, he had naturally made ample preparations. However, so what if the opponent was a nascent soul stage cultivator? With the system as his trump card, he would definitely win. Moreover, this was not the first time he faced off against a soul formation stage cultivator. Regarding this, he had absolute confidence. After he finished speaking, he did not worry at all. He raised his sword and rushed toward the other side. As usual, a series of notifications rang in his ears. Ding! The host has stimulated the highest potential. The time limit is 15 minutes. That is 15 minutes. Ding! Scanning the enemy's strength, starting to match the most suitable cultivation technique in the database. Ding! The enemy's combat strength is 80%, 90%, 100%, 200%, 1000%, yen percent at yen percent at yen percent yen percent. Ding, ding, ding. Exceeding statistical value. Serious overflow percent at yen percent at hashtag yen percent. Transcending plain high-level life form. Discovered Big Boss. Activating emergency response measures. Ding. Emergency mission. Please kneel down in front of Big Boss and express your desire to suck up to her. What? Feng Ying's sword was already less than half a meter away from Shunning. Suddenly, he felt an electric current coursing through his body. His knees weakened and he fell to the ground. His head hit a pile of stones at the side with a thud. Feng Ying, Shunning. This is the first time we're meeting. Is there need to be so formal? A strange silence fell over the place. System, what the hell are you doing? Feng Ying was roaring in his heart. He directly used his divine perception to send a voice transmission. Why did I suddenly kneel down? Didn't I ask you to stimulate my potential? What's going on? Ding. The opponent is a high-level life form from another plane. She's an existence that transcends this plane. Why do I care what kind of life form she is? I don't understand what you're saying. I just want to help my soul chasing tower vent our anger and beat him up. Ding. The system's safety treaty states that the host is forbidden from acting impolitely toward an existence that is higher than this plane. In short, courting death. What do you mean? Are you saying that I can't beat her? Ding. In front of a high-level life form, the host is equivalent to trash. Impossible. Chapter 95. Yifeng brought Shun Ying all the way into the Mirage Sea. Although he did not know why she insisted on standing on his sword, she was a guest. Yifeng could not say much even though he was confused, so he began to introduce the Mirage Sea. Sect Master Shun, this is the Mirage Sea. He pointed to the endless sea and said, because of the Yi family, there are not many spirit beasts at the edge of the Mirage Sea. Once we pass the 1,000 islands, there will be more. Shining nodded. Indeed, after a while, a large number of islands appeared in front of them, covering the sea. The area of the islands was very small. Some looked like stone blocks that were only a few square meters. Yifeng had no intention of staying here. After a brief introduction, he flew over. After flying for about an hour, the number of islands decreased. They could only see one every few minutes, and the area was very wide. Just like he said, there were spirit beasts on the islands. Some were in groups of 3 to 5, some were in groups of hundreds. Most of them appeared on the islands, but one would jump out of the water from time to time. Every one of them was very large, and they could be seen from afar. I met my roaring lion beast on that island. Yifeng pointed to a large island on the right. That cat. Shunning turned to look at him. Yifeng was stunned. He thought that she thought the roaring lion beast was small, so he explained, the roaring lion beast is a 10th level spirit beast. It can change its size. Sect Master Shun did not see its true body that day. In fact, it is more than 10 times bigger than that. Oh, she nodded. Thinking of his contracted beast, Yifeng could not help but feel a little sad. He did not say anything else. He glanced at the island and continued forward on his sword. After flying for about half an hour, They finally stopped on an island with a lush forest. Let's start searching from here. He flew down and pointed to the forest. The spirit chi here is very thick. There should be spirit beasts above the 10th level. Okay. Shuning did not have any objections. Yifeng immediately took out a pile of array flags and Dharma talismans. I have a metal spirit root, so I want to find a spirit beast of other elements. Sect Master Shun, do you want to find a spirit beast of the same element? Yes. She nodded. Do you have any requests? A huge ball of fur flashed across Shun Ying's mind. Something bigger, something whiter, something tastier. Bye. Lifeng was stunned for a moment. He glanced at her and immediately understood. Sect leader Shun was a lady after all. It was understandable that she would want to find some good-looking spirit beasts. I have already prepared the array talismans and Dharma artifacts. Which one is Sect Master Shun best at? What does that mean? The spirit beasts here are very dangerous. It's better to be prepared.